Hello YouTube, Dave here, out on Dartmoor of an evening. That can only mean one thing. I bought a new tent, the VANGO SOUL 100. This is going to be my first time setting it up. I'm going to take it out for a camp at the weekend, so watch out for next week's video. There'll be a camp with this tent. It's my first time ever with a one-man tent, and I thought I'd set it up today, have a quick look at it, make sure everything is with it that's supposed to come with it before I take it out for a camp, and just give you guys my first impressions. But before I do, if you're a fan of the outdoors, of hiking, wild camping and budget gear reviews, you've come to the right place, because that's all I do on this channel. So hit the like button if you enjoy this video and subscribe if you want to see more. And without further ado, let's take a look at this tent. It says here on this packaging on the front of the bag, the Soul offers an ideal starter tent for those taking their first steps into the world of camping. The Soul has just 2 poles and an easy to pitch tunnel design, meaning this tent can be pitched in around 7 minutes. This tent is perfect for adventurers who wish to minimise pitching time and make the most of the great outdoors. They're basically saying that it's idiot proof, aren't they? Well, that's going to get tested tonight. Let's take a look at it. Now, the first thing I noticed is you've got these almost compression straps, a little bit like you do on a sleeping bag here, just to hold it all in place, compress it down nicely, and then they unclip, and we undo this for a start. And the bag, the top of the bag is this drawstring design, so you can just stuff it all in when you're finished. And that's really the problem with my Eurohike Tam R2 that I had. It didn't have that design, it had a zip, and that ripped when I was trying to pack it away in a storm. And yeah, that really did ruin the Eurohike Tam R2 for me, because it meant that the bag doesn't close and you can't buy the bag separately. But yeah, a better design certainly than the Eurohike Tam R2. Put it up here, put these over here on the bag so they don't blow away. I'm not littering, I promise. Roll it out, see what we've got. Didn't go as expected. Right, this looks like the outer. Pitch it this way. No, sorry, that's the inner. That's the floor mat and the inner. Put the outer here, over there for a moment. Pegs and poles in quite thick plastic. So if you wanted to save a bit of weight, you could probably replace these, maybe even put them loose in there, or find another bag to put them in. They're a lot heavier and it's crinkly plastic, similar to what the Eurohike Tam R2 came in. I guess more of like a budget design than the Nature Hike that I've got. They're in much lighter bags than this, and this is a fairly hefty tent for a one-person tent. 1.8 kilos this weighs. Well, I say that, it says 1.88 kilos on the bag, but actually when I weighed it before I came out, weighed it at 1.98 kilos, so an extra 1/10 of a kilo. We've got these pegs which do not look very substantial. They look like they're going to bend pretty easily, but yeah, we'll put it up, follow the instructions, and we'll see. It does say that the poles are fiberglass, which also aren't great, but that's what you get when you buy budget tents anyway, isn't it? This cost me £39, so a really good entry level price for a tent. But let's see if it's a good tent that you're getting for your money. Got instructions sewn into the bag, which is handy. Inner first pitching. That could be a problem, couldn't it? You've seen the weather that I like to go out and camp in. Well, I don't like to, that's what Dartmoor likes to throw at me. Assemble the poles and lay them parallel on the ground. 2 poles, 1 long, 1 short. That's my short pole. It's very short. Got a long pole out. My long pole. These do feel very flimsy, I must say. Much more flimsy than my Nature Hike tent. That's the long pole. There, still not very long. What do we do next? Open out inner and position in required direction. We've done that, kind of. Insert the poles through the pole sleeves on the outside of the inner. Let's do that. Always push through the poles on a tent rather than pulling them through, because on these ones, especially when they're elasticated like this, if you pull it through, they'll all disconnect on the inside when it gets caught up. It's looking like a very small tent, I must say. Locate one end of each pole on one side of inner into the metal pin system at the end of the pole sleeves. Push poles into an arch from opposite ends and locate pole ends into corresponding metal pin. Okay, so this is very much like the Eurohike Tamar 2 actually. This has got a similar setup with these pins. I've got a feeling though, just by looking at the way this tent is probably going together, that it can't be pitched. Well, it can't be pitched out at first, as it says it's an inner first pitch tent, but I don't think it can be pitched kind of all in one go as well, like left together. It's quite a tight fit on the small one, but we've got it up. Well, that sounded like it was cracking already. Well, we've got it in, but there's a lot of tension on that large pole. It felt like either the fiberglass pole was going to snap or the fabric was going to rip of the tent sleeve that I was sliding it through. Either way, not a great design. You need to peg the rear point of the inner tent. Carefully extend the tent forwards, then peg the two front corners as it needs to be pegged. One for the back and two for the front. Right, so carefully extend the front. Carefully, don't let it get you. The inner is up. A little bit skew width, but don't worry about that. Quick look at it, show you around. That's what it looks like. I'm not camping in it tonight. If I was, that's the view I'd have. Not a bad one. Just a tripod right in the middle of it. Ignore that though. It's behind the scenes. But yeah, it's the inner pitched. And now I guess we do the outer. That's the Italian instructions. That's the wrong bit. Where are we? The English instructions. Peg both of the poles through the ring of the ring and pin system. So I did the ring and pin system in the wrong order. That might have been part of the problem as to why it was so inflexible. I was supposed to peg the two ends in first. So bear that in mind. I'll remember to do that. I'm going to take it out for a camp at the weekend. Open out fly sheet and position so that inner doorway and the fly sheet doorway correspond. Got his little coat on now, hasn't he? A number of connectors are located on the underside of the fly sheet. These must be secured around the poles of the inner tent. Connectors, I didn't see those. I'll bring you over so you can have a look. Right, see those little handles there? Oh, I've got tent in my face. And those little handles there, and then these ribbons. I'm not going to be able to do it one-handed, but they tie around that. Just so you can see what I'm doing, because you're not going to be able to see it from the tripod while I'm tying those up. So I'll bring you back. Well, I'll put you back on the tripod. There you go. I'll bring you back once I've done this bit. There's three of those little connectors on the front pole. Three little handles for those ribbons to tie around. There's one on the back pole as well. And those will be the reason that we can't leave it all connected together and just pitch it all in one go, because you won't be able to get the poles through. Peg down each side of the fly tent through the shock cord pegging points adjacent to the metal rings of the inner tent. Right, so I've got my pegs. Oh, these are funny little pegs. They're different to normal. Put those aside. There might be special pegs, those ones. I've got my normal peg, and we just pull the shock card out, put it tight, and then push it down like that. It doesn't feel a very sturdy tent, I must say. And we just go around and do all of those. Pull porch taut away from the main body of the tent and peg down the corners of the porch through the shock cord pegging points using pin pegs. Pin pegs, that's what they're called. Peg out all guy lines using pin pegs, ensuring that the guy line fabric attachment points are evenly tensioned. All the rest of these normal shepherd's crook ones. So it says, maybe those aren't the pin pegs then, I don't really know what I'm talking about. Alright, well there we go, she's up. Looks a little bit wonky and misshapen, a little bit saggy on the top, especially from the other side. If I play around with the pegs a bit, I might be able to do something about that. I've got loads of spare pegs though, look at all these. I don't know if that's because they're expecting the pegs to bend, or am I missing a load of peg out points, but I can't see that I am, so I don't see where they go, to be honest. There's no other peg out points that I can see, no other loops that I've missed. But I've got, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 extra pegs. That seems to be about as taut as I can get it. I'm gonna unzip it, take a look inside. I can't see any more peg out points that I've missed. So I just think we've got 6 extra pegs, which does make me think, do VANGO think that we're gonna be bending pegs and need replacements, and they've given you 6 spare ones in case, which on the one hand is kind of a good idea, a good thing. On the other hand, it's not exactly an indictment for the quality of the product, is it? Now you can roll the door back and hold it back like this. That's it. Oh, okay. It's not a big tent, I'll tell you that much. Oh, blimey. Hang on. Let me come and get you. It's not a very big tent in there. Obviously it is a 1-person tent, so you don't expect it to be big, but it is absolutely tiny. I'm going to try and pull the inner out a little bit because I do think it's sagging a little bit more than it should by the looks of it. So I'm inside the tent and you can see the vestibule space that we've got is about big enough to fit my boots and nothing else really. I've not closed the fly sheet or the inner just because there's not much light in here, so you probably wouldn't be able to see anything. But if I flip you round, you can see just how little headroom I've got. I mean, my head is touching the inner and forcing it up into the outer fly, which if it's going to rain is going to be a problem because it means the inner is going to get wet. But also if I try and turn around, it's a very small tent. If I turn around like so, I picture a bit of a slope, so it's not ideal, but my feet are right down touching that end and my head is pretty much touching the inner here. I'm literally sliding down that way because I'm on such a hill, but you can see what I mean. So it's going to be a bit small. I could lay this way I suppose, but then it does feel very claustrophobic, shall we say. My feet are touching the inner there, as you can see. Gorgeous view outside though. Yeah, my feet are touching the inner there, and my head, there's a little bit of room behind my head, but less than a hand span. Like that is, my thumb is touching both the back of my head and the back of the tent. It's not ideal, is it? It's going to be a bit small for me, I think. Maybe more of a kid's tent. I'm 6 foot tall, so not exactly huge, but even still, that tent feels tiny to me. It feels like it's more designed for children rather than adults. It's going to be a pretty tight and cramped wild camp for me next week, I think, so do tune in for that. It could be fun. But yeah, let's see how easily this packs away, shall we? Now, as you can see here, the tent actually does pack away nice and easily. It's not very fiddly at all to pack away, in comparison certainly to putting it up, because it was quite fiddly to put up. But yeah, I'm a bit concerned that it's going to be a bit too small for me for this wild camp, but tune in on Saturday to find out. There we have it. It's not folded away anywhere near as neatly as it was when I first took it out, but they never go back as neatly as they come out of the factory, do they? Or at least they don't for me. But yeah, the compression straps come in handy. Like, compresses it down nicely, and I love this stuff sack system where it opens up the entire top, so you can just stuff the whole thing in, shove the pegs and the poles in last, and you're good to go. Yeah, thanks very much for watching. Check out the video for next week, next Saturday, which will be my wild camping in this tent, and I can't imagine I'm going to have much space to roll around because the tent is basically the size of me. So yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. Do hit the like button on it, subscribe if you want to see more, give it a hype if you're here in the first week, drop a comment down below, let me know if you've ever used this tent, if it's any good. Let me know what I'm in store for at the weekend when I go camping in this, and I'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching. Cheers.